Now, today, we have experienced more than 300 days of Hezbollah rockets, and Nasrallah is threatening a major attack. Just today, we had somebody die from one of those rockets, and several people are in serious condition. Do you regret not fighting until he was dead?
I must admit that I hear for the first time that this was the main purpose of the military operation. We never really made it as a main effort to kill Nasrallah, and I don't think that had we killed him, that something dramatic could have been different. The fact is that Israel killed, not at my time, but before, the leader of Hezbollah, Musawi. And I think subsequently we live to regret the assassination, because I think that Nasrallah turned out to be a lot more effective and threatening in terms of vis-a-vis the state of Israel. In October of 2023, Israel was caught in a total surprise. There was no government, there was no army. We were devastated, and we were losing close to 2,000 Israelis, most of them Israeli civilians, in the living rooms, in the bedrooms, in the safe rooms, with pajamas.
But that's
children.
not the north. The north...
Hang on. And because the government was completely paralyzed and non-active and under shock, when Hezbollah started the operation in the north, when they saw the helplessness and the total loss of control by the Israeli government in the south, and they just penetrated into very close to the border and started to shoot, the government ordered the evacuation of all the Israeli settlements.
But we have been for over 300 days fighting in Hamas. Why is the Israeli army not able, or was not able, to go in to do something similar when in a few weeks they gained 17 years of deterrence? And here we can't seem to end the war.
Because now, I think, first of all, I don't think that I am the best possible commentator of the failures of the Israeli government. Okay, I think that this is the worst possible government that we could have. This is the worst possible leadership that we ever had in the history of the State of Israel. If I can quote Tom Friedman, perhaps in the history of the Jewish people. There never was such a bad failing prime minister as we have now. So that's number one. Number two is that it's one thing to launch surprise attack or an unexpected attack by the Israeli army against Hezbollah in the north. Another thing is when they are fully prepared for an Israeli attack, and therefore you have to decide whether the possible Israeli attack against Hezbollah is worth the cost of such an attack, considering the fact that it's been after 10 months that we have allowed them to stay on the border and to keep our townships entirely vacant and empty of Israeli citizens, and that they have actually established a security line which is across the border on our side rather than across the border on their side.
Behind all of this is obviously not just Hezbollah, and it's not Hamas, it's Iran. And as of today, we're talking about whether or not we should preempt in that direction. Can you talk a little bit about that and maybe what our move could be that is not necessarily going into Lebanon, or maybe we could sign a hostage deal, end in Gaza, and think about the root of all of this problem?
Look, the government of Israel has no vision, has no plan, has no strategy. And this is obvious. This is not something that I say. I'm known to be in opposition to Netnیاهو, and I'm a big critic of him. The ministers in his cabinet, those who cooperated with him for the last 10 months. I still see, can see the artist Netnیاهو when he's acting. He's a performer afterwards. on international TVs or Israeli TVs, talking about Iran. He says, if they will ever dare attack us, we will destroy them. Now, America sends boats, carriers, F-22s, Great Britain, France, they all come in order to help Israel cope with the danger from Iran, and Netnyahu is hiding somewhere so that we will not see how trembling he is.